What is going on, folks? Semi-original guy, aka Mr. Cannon from Advanced Wars by Web, bringing you another community battle matchup. Yes, it has been a while, folks, but I am here in my new home, in my new space. So, it's gonna be a good time. Alright, so today we are playing on the map. Just what are we doing here? Or something like that. This is actually the Egg Cup Round 3 match between these two players. We have Lionheart 2005 and Timid Falcon Knight. Fun fact, Timid Falcon Knight is actually a fellow YouTuber on, you guessed it, YouTube. I know, crazy, right? Who would have thought? Anyways, very cool YouTuber. He's got a very interesting little series, Road to 1.1k or Return to 1.1k. Either way, he's a 1.1k player. Very strong player indeed. So go check him out after this is done. Alrighty, a link in the description below. So today we have these two players. They both made it to round 3 of the Egg Cup. If you're unfamiliar with the Egg Cup season 2, I'll also post a link in the description below so you can check that out. I'm sure that they'll be doing a round 3 at some point. I was actually interested in this tournament as well. Made it all the way to, I believe, round 5 or 6. Something like that. And then I got eliminated. You know, it's the way she goes, right? But I made it a little bit. Alright, so today we have two players playing Kindle. Yes, we have a Kindle mirror. We all know Kindle. She gets an additional 40% firepower on cities, properties, whatever, folks. 40% firepower. Her Urban Blight co-power will do 3 damage to anything standing on a city. Very effective stuff indeed. High Society super co-power. She'll get a 3% boost in firepower for every single city owned. As you can see, we have quite a few cities here, so we might be able to see some high firepower action, but probably not because most people just pop Urban Blight. And that's just the way she goes, folks. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look and see what happens in this matchup. Alright, so on the first day we have Lionheart 2005 as the Penguins, Timid Falcon Knight over here as Yellow Comet. Very nice. And as you can guess, day 1 we just have standard infantry builds. Nothing out of the ordinary, folks, just standard infantry builds. So we're going to go ahead and continue on a little bit. So discussing the map a little bit, we can see that there are a couple properties here, a couple bases to be captured. So, very important stuff. It looks like Timid Falcon Knight is actually not going to capture that, going straight for the base. Very important stuff, folks. You want to be sure to get those bases as quick as possible. There are a few maps where it might be more advantageous to cap a city instead of capping the base, but they are few and far between. So, go for those bases first, folks. Alright, so you can see, looks like a Lionheart 2005 probably going up for the comm tower. Pretty close here, so very nice. Yeah, we got more bases being capped here. Nothing really out of the ordinary, going straight up here. So this is a common move that I've seen actually quite a few times on this map, and players will just completely forego these properties right here and go straight for this property right here. Now, very good idea to do so, because this property is fairly contested later on in the map, so important to get it right away. It looks like Lionheart is not actually going for the comm tower, going for the city for the extra funds, so not too bad there. Now, we do know that comm towers, they do grant an additional 10% firepower, but what they do not do is grant funds at all. So in the early game, funds are usually more important than firepower, especially when there's no combat going on. And we can also see in this map that we do have labs instead of HQs. Now, the labs function as HQs in a map like this. However, the opponent has to cap both of your labs in order to actually secure the victory. Whereas, if you had 2 HQs on a map, you would only have to cap one of the HQs in order to secure the sweet W. Alright, so Lionheart 2005. It looks like we are actually starting off with a tank here, starting off pretty big. Now, tank out of this position, fairly strong. This would be considered your weak side for Lionheart 2005. However, this tank is very powerful in this position. It's able to interrupt a cap on this city right here. And it would not be able to interrupt a cap on this city right here. However, it would be able to do a lot of zoning potential for sure. Alright, so let's carry on. Let's see what Timid Falcon Knight has in store. So Timid Falcon Knight going for 3 caps, builds a tank of their own, caps the comm tower, moving up to a city over here. Now, this is kind of a risky city to go for, in my opinion. It does look like there are a lot of infantry around that could definitely interrupt that. Not too bad. Alright, so let's see what else we got. Okay, so we built infantry and another infantry. Only 4K in the bank right now, so that's not too bad. Not too bad builds. So we got a tank right here. This is actually a really good call with this tank right here, because it completely counters this tank here. Now, the reason being is this tank would be able to go right on this city. If this tank went up and did the interrupt, this tank would be able to go sit on the city and get a 40% firepower boost, doing massive damage to that tank right there. Now, what that could end up doing is causing a tank chain from Lionheart 2005 attempting to get the city over and over, which is playing into a very bad hand. It's not something you necessarily want to do. So Lionheart is going to have to think of a different thing to do with this tank for sure. Alrighty, so we are capping some airports right now, going for a city cap. Looks like we're going down for the second comm tower, just moving a tiny little bit right there. Looks like we're in range to cap this city right here, or we could actually go for the lab right here, or we could cap this property right here. Options, folks, lots and lots of options. Alright, cool. So we are keeping the tank out of range of this tank right here, but still putting it in a good position to sort of secure the center a little bit by the looks of it. Alright, cool. So let's carry on. Ooh, nice. Going for a couple caps. Now going for that really risky cap right there in the middle, in the bottom left corner here. I'm not quite sure about this right here. I can't. I don't really know. I don't know, man. I don't know about that one. I wouldn't probably have gone for that. Maybe send this infantry over towards the middle at this point and maybe help secure these 2 properties. Going for that city right there. That's basically just asking for the infantry to be shot down. No reinforcements at the moment, so that's too bad. Alright, so see if that, yeah, there he goes. That's too bad. Too bad, so sad. He was a good soldier. Now this is an interesting cap too, because Timid Falcon Knight actually does not have access to interrupt that cap. Now before you go saying anything too, this is not necessarily an easy map to read. There's a lot going on in this map, so little things like that, you know, you can't really super predict. I think you might have been able to predict this one right here, but the area that the infantry are going, it's up in the air. But it does look like the funds right now are going to be in Timid Falcon Knight's favor with 13 to 11, starting the cap on another airport right there, which is very nice. Now let's see what can be done. So this guy, if we decided to go and attack that, that would not be very good. Alright, so building another tank. Moving an infantry right here. So it looks like what we're doing is we are going to be threatening the cap on this city right here, which would force Lionheart 2005, who has actually been featured in a previous video of mine, possibly twice, but I know at least once back when I was doing the broken test. He ended up playing as Sturm against me, and that, whoa, that was a time. Good stuff. All right, so I don't know, we're gonna see. All right, so if we did move there, Got 2 tanks in position to actually attack it. Then we would be able to move this guy right here. I don't know. Let's see what Lionheart 2005 is going to do here. Now, we do have access to one of the comm towers so far, but not a second one. So our firepower on cities is going to be 150% at the moment. And it does look like we're going to be going for the second one right now. However, Timid Falconite does have both of his comm towers, so that's 160% firepower on cities for him. So that is very, very scary to be attacking. Basically, what that means is if you go and attack something where it's going to be on a city from, let's say, this plains right here, that trade is probably going to be even or might even not be in your favor. So you might not want to be doing that. Now, a lot of the time when I'm fighting Kindle, I like to use a lot of indirects to kind of zone her away from the cities if it's possible, but doesn't always work. Alright, so interesting play from Timid Falconite here. Looks like we're gonna go interrupt 2 cities. Now, so one of them would be able to go and attack, but we would be able to follow up with 2. But the problem with attacking this property right here is this guy right here is immediate tank reinforcement. So provided we at least buy a tank from here, it's just kind of constant reinforcement to that area. So these tanks would probably lose this scenario like in the long run. This tank's not in position to actually attack this one, so he's safe for a turn. But I kind of fear for that one. I'm not quite sure how that's going to end up. We do got 2 tanks up here. Lionheart 2005 is doing a pretty good job at zoning out at the moment, though. He's got a very defensive position here. Weren't able to interrupt the comm tower, so we are going to be seeing an instant cap on that. Another very important thing, folks, is make sure you cap that comm tower right away if you're actually going to be going for it, you know? You gotta get it. You gotta get them. Alright, so that's actually a really good move right here. So it actually blocks it out so that this tank, now we see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we wouldn't actually be able to, what we would be able to do is just kind of loop around, maybe attack one of these guys down here. That leaves this tank sitting right here. Once this does the attack, it's gonna be pretty secure. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty secure. Ooh, even, you know, wow. Oof. See, that is 106% firepower right there, folks. That is devastating, devastating stuff. That's not what you want to see, but you love to do it, that's for sure. Now, that's probably the smarter move, because I don't think that this would have been the one shot. I think it would have survived with 1 HP. So actually moving over here was the smarter choice. So a very, very good good play there, Mr. Lionheart. Okay, so what do we got? We're gonna move right there, secure in the center like quite a bit, so that is super nice. Super nice. Very good positioning. It is definitely the tank show here, folks. We have a lot of tanks, very little other units. We've got a battlecopter coming on the way. We got an anti-air, preemptive anti-air, because as we can see here, we got 2 airports. Now the problem is Timid Falconite only has 1,500 funds. So the problem with 1,500 funds is you can't really buy too much. Like, you can't buy a battlecopter and like a tank and something else, you know? The problem is just limited funds. Where Lionheart 2005 right now would be able to buy a battlecopter, still have 8,000 funds left. So potentially you could buy a battlecopter, an artillery, and like 2 infantry like every single day and keep that unit count up by 4 every single turn. Whereas Timid Falconite wouldn't be able to do that at the moment. We did manage to get it up to 16, got it up to 17 now, so now he would be able to. But we're gonna see. I'm gonna see if it's gonna be possible. Alright, so we got the anti-air. That's an essential build right now. Moving right here, though, that's a little bit sketchy. That's very sketchy. Especially with the amount of tanks right here. Probably wouldn't have done that. That's a little bit too sketchy for my taste. Probably, like, if you're gonna have the tank there, I think what we could do, I'd probably, like, because that's a really risky hit right there, too. That can't hit, but, like, these two, oh dear. Let me make sure I got that realigned. Okay, there we go. That's probably fine. I'm just gonna roll with it, folks. Roll with it. It's been a while. Alright, so this is a tough situation. Even this is a risky position to be in because we have 120% firepower. So 2 strikes on a tank on a city. That might be the KO. I think it probably would be the KO. So we could actually KO it, and then move an infantry on it. And then this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We would be able to move there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we could. Ooh, this is like super risky stuff. We'd actually be able to probably like move here with an infantry. Maybe even. Ooh, we could like join those 2 infantry up. Okay, I'm speculating too much, folks. Speculating too much. Alright, so anyways, so we moved over there. Forming a little bit of a wall. So this guy is pretty safe now, I would say, but it's still looking kind of risky. Because we could... Okay, too much speculation. Day 10, folks. Day 10. Here we go. Let's see what's going to happen. Alright, 18 properties from Lionheart. Ooh, are actually going to go up and sack a unit to do a little bit of extra damage to finish it off with a nice little penguin there. That is actually a pretty advanced move that not many people will really do. But once you get into the higher sort of elos, you start seeing more of that stuff. And actually our friend Lionheart right here, he's a fairly high elo player. I've played him a couple times, you know, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. He's actually a finalist in one of the tournaments right now that I was in, which I unfortunately lost in round 3. So I made it to the quarterfinals. Didn't make it to the semifinals, unfortunately. Made it to the quarterfinals. But if I had, I would have ended up fighting our friend Lionheart 2005. But, you know, that's a story for another day. Alright, so we have shifted our units around, and it looks like we have quite a few units here now. That is a lot of presence. And we're looking at, looks like we're at 25 units to 19. Quite a bit of value difference right now, too. So Timid Falcon Knight, unfortunately, was out of position for quite a few of these. Ended up taking some big hits. It builds the classy medium tank because Timid Falcon Knight is a classy gentleman. And only classy gentlemen build medium tanks, folks. Remember that. Alright, so what else do we got going on here? Alright, the infantry are sort of pushing around into position over here. We got a lot of units over here, but unfortunately they're not... we can't really push them in because this wall is a little bit too strong. It looks like we're going to be doing a shift towards the middle. It looks like we are going to be getting an urban blight here pretty soon from at least one of the players. And we got a lot of nice hits right there. Managed to finish off a tank. 2 tanks. Did quite a bit of damage there. Yeah, quite a bit. Now, Timid Falcon Knight does still have the medium tank. And I remember when I was playing this match in the Egg Cup, the medium tanks was basically what saved me in this bottom corner here. Because I had a situation that was kind of looking fairly similar to this. And the medium tanks did me quite well. So let's see if the medium tank actually does Timid Falcon Knight quite well. Alright, so we got the Urban Blight that interrupts all the caps that are going on. Nice damage all around. Lots and lots of damage to the other classy boy down here. Unfortunately, that is going to sap his funds quite a bit, but he does have 22,000 funds. Alright, double medium tank, that's what I'm talking about. We're getting the big boys out here. The big classy boys, that's what we need. Alright, the medium tanks are rolling, the infantry are coming in. Alright, so Lionheart is also going to be able to use an Urban Blight. So, is he going to pop it though? That's the question. Okay, so we do pop the Urban Blight. That's going to do lots of damage to this guy right here. Only a couple other infantry. Unfortunately, it's not really too much damage there. Now, enough to interrupt a cap right there. Is that going to attack? Ooh, dangerous. Yeah, unfortunately, losing the anti-air right there is massive. The Battlecopter did get the terrain bonus also from the city. Now, Urban Blight, I believe, will actually increase the firepower to 180%. So technically, this is a 200% firepower bonus at the moment, which is insane if you think about it. Like 200%, that's a lot of damage, folks. Lots and lots of damage. And looks like Lionheart's able to now sit on cities unopposed because we don't have to worry about the Urban Blight anymore. So he's able to actually move up quite a bit, build some artillery, and that is the resign right there. Unfortunately, Timid Falconite was not actually able to press on any further here. And it looks like Lionheart is the winner and will continue on in the Egg Cup. But there are multiple eggs. You get 3 strikes until you're out of this tournament. So hopefully Timid Falconite managed to continue on and get some really good games. Now, Timid is actually a very good player. I think maybe they just kind of misread the map a little bit here. But I'm going to leave his channel description in our channel link in the description below. So you can go check him out yourself. And if you like his content, give him a sub too. And if you enjoyed the content today, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. There are going to be more community battles in the future. And if you do have any battles or matches that you would like featured on the channel, you can go ahead and send me a message of the game link on Advanced Wars by Web. My name is Mr. Cannon. That's MR_CANNON. Send me the link and I will be happy to look it over, and possibly you might be featured on the channel. So that's going to be it for today. I do believe, like I said, the only thing that really happened here was just a lot of unnecessary risk. The first unnecessary risk, I think, was definitely back here with this move right here, unfortunately. And then the second one was these 2 interrupts right here. Ended up losing the tanks in the process here. I think maybe if we had just held our footing over here and built our wall, maybe built some artillery, held this area quite well, might have went a little bit different. Because what we could have done is, I mean, it's our weak side, so we got to hold our weak side and push with our strong side. That's really what it's all about, folks. Really what it's all about. So I think maybe that was probably the nail in the coffin for that. This move was kind of risky too, I think, so probably rethink that and then pushing forward. Yeah, that's, I would say that's probably where it all went wrong there. But like I said, I still think Timid's a pretty good player, so go check him out. Anyways, till next time, folks, semi-original guy out. Take care. Bye-bye.